In today's video, we are going to talk about the dark psychology of creative people. The voices in your head making you do the wrong thing or holding you back are not unique. I get asked all the time, how do you make so much content or do so many things? And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, everything in my life is a burning fire, and I'm barely holding on. I'll give some sort of calm answer. But with the good and all the advice we give on this channel, it's also worth talking about the bad and how you power through it. So in this video, we're going to talk about the taste paradox, how that holds people back, groupthink on the internet, self-sabotage, inaction, stealing creative work, and the machine of the world around you. But it's not a sad video. It's a video to let you know that everyone deals with this and to look at strategies or how it gets better. Because once you understand the why and how it goes down, you can build out of it. And there's not a creative on this planet who doesn't deal with these things. And I promise we'll have a little fun along the way. Come for a ride, let's lock in. I want to start by talking about the tasteful paradox. The idea of organic discovery. This is something I argue about quite a bit with people I respect. And it is this idea that if you do wonderful creative work, if you're an excellent strategist or you do a key campaign, it's going to be recognized by the right people. It's going to get you into the right places. And you don't need to be overly self-promotional about it. And I look at this continually as the gatekeepers gatekeeping you, making you believe that the only way to get work in progress is for it to be organically rewarded. I remember I had a mentor once who said, "What good is a portfolio if it doesn't get clicked?" And this was a hard one for me personally, because I truly believe, and you'll see me do it a lot now if you follow me on X or Instagram, I celebrate every milestone. And I think creatives should too. I celebrated the 100K on YouTube, 500K on Instagram. I celebrated the publishing of new collections, of when I joined different roles, of constantly harping up how cool the things that I'm doing or working on are. And this was actually hard for me to get to, because when I look at my own arc, I haven't worked at Apple or Stussy or founded some $100 million company. I worked at a lot of consumer tech and random businesses and did some really good work. I'm not the guy. And there were a lot of people who I respected who did really tasteful work, who were in scenes like high-end fashion, things I aspired to be in and thought by kind of quietly contributing my tasteful stuff, eventually I would get there. And then I realized, waking up in my mid-30s, that I was stuck, and that doesn't get me anywhere. And being the operator and being almost proud of the lack of promotion that you did, or of being the guy on the side who makes it all happen, wasn't actually a good thing, was doing myself a disservice. And so I would encourage, if you are in that scenario, and there's people around you that almost frown or look down on you when you share that work, share it louder. That in a world of noise, no matter how good what you do is, maybe you get sought out from it, but you need to cheerlead yourself because everyone is too distracted by their algorithms to do it for you. And this leads me into groupthink. And I think about this a lot because of the AI comments. You probably have seen this. There's a lot of people who will use AI on any video or some posts that they have on the internet, and you'll immediately get a bunch of comments like AI slop that's just railing on, support real photographers or whatever it ends up being. And look, I have this barometer on AI, right? Using bad AI work is offensive. Doing good or interesting AI work is essentially any real working creative is part of their responsibility. Because you look around, you look at what people are actually doing, and you'll realize that this hate online that comes from so many people is fabricated. It's groupthink. You walk into every agency, every major production house, every brand. Their life is being saved by generated transitions, generative fill. They are stitching together extra shots. They are doing their logo animations. Luxury brands are hiring friends of mine to do 3D viz all through AI that you wouldn't know. It is purely a matter of not getting caught or not talking about it. And so if you position yourself against it and all of a sudden you wake up realizing that everyone in the roles around you are working on it, all of a sudden you've painted yourself in a corner because of an online groupthink, because it feels good to pile on something. And this ties into online commenting in general. You may have heard that idea that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. But if you're in any scenario where you ever comment anything that's not either valuable or funny or supportive, you're participating in a negative groupthink online that is likely holding you back somewhere else. That energy that you're putting into spewing negativity, no matter, even if you feel it's put in the right place, politics, whatever it is, that is draining the energy you have to be excited about the world or to be obsessed with the thing you're passionate about. And every bit of that you decrease takes away from the potential of the art. And anyone who can live by this principled self likely isn't a real working professional. They've already established themselves so much that they have the luxury of time. And I guarantee you almost none of us watching this channel have that. And this ties into self-sabotage. And this is one I don't have a solution for. This is one I grapple with all the time. I will have everything going right in my life. I look at this right now. I'm making an ungodly amount of money, a shocking amount, more than I ever thought I would make. I have all this happy things around me, and I cannot help but at any given time have one thing I am doing so ruthlessly and unstoppably to self-sabotage myself that I am shocked by how aggressive I'm doing. And this is innate. This is human nature, especially when you get to an unexpected level. This is what happens with creatives all the time, right? You have that self-doubt that you're not the guy or the girl. You're not going to get to this place. You're not your generational artist. And if you get anywhere near there, anywhere above where your expectation of yourself was, you don't know how to handle it. And you, in the back of your head, want to cut yourself back down to whatever level you were at before because it's comfortable to you. And it doesn't go away. This is one where I don't even have a solution to give you. But the start of it is with realization of acknowledging I have this self-sabotaging thing. No excuse, no whatever, no justification. It's the thing you're doing. And then continually trying to do something about it. A new strategy, a new idea. Anything but repeat the same thing and hope for the better. Which brings me to inaction. One that I've thankfully conquered, and I think if you take anything away from this video, it can be your formula to do the same. At the end of this video, I'll talk about how the world around us has been plotting against anyone with a dream or a vision or a creative thought, but we'll get there later. At the root of most inaction is a concept of cool, is a concept of what people tell you is all right or what you should or shouldn't feel. I want to tell you, because it's for a generation of us who grew up in a certain way of school, etc., it's okay to want to win. It's okay to want to be better than others that are doing the same thing. It doesn't have to be negative, you don't have to win at their expense, but it is okay to want to be amazing, to want to be the best, and to want more for yourself. I promise you. It's okay to be the one that breaks free of the circumstance you're in and the group that you're around. And again, you don't have to look down on them, you don't have to isolate them, but you can break out, and that will be a good thing for you. And it is not cool or aspirational to be lazy or chill. You don't attract the job of your dreams, you don't attract the mate of your dreams by being chill, by taking more time for you, by treating yourself. I'm not gonna go act like you need to work 996, but you first, to solve an action, need to want to win, need to admit to yourself that it's okay to go after everything. I had that moment when I realized I needed to embrace competition. I am innately extremely competitive. It's actually the thing that makes me publish the most content. I'm competitive against people I have no need to be competitive against. I'm already destroying them in whatever idea in my head is competition. It comes back to my childhood, it comes back to competitive sports, whatever it is, but I also realize that that's okay, that it doesn't matter, that that's something that drives me forward, wanting to win in whatever aspect, wanting to throw up whatever imaginary W on the wall. I watched that Jordan documentary and realized there's people that think like that and use that to their advantage. They'll make up scenarios to get themselves in that competitive nature. I at least have them naturally. And it helps solve inaction, which ties us to this concept. If you want something done right, you want something completed, ask a busy person to do it. This is a parable I could not agree with more. That we all think, oh, I'm busy, I can't do X or Y, I can't add X or Y. You know who gets things done? People who have no choice but to get it done, who really want to and are pursuing it and have a bunch of other stuff going on. Tasks expand to fill the time on hand. And that's the biggest thing that I've realized, is that the more things I sign up for too much. I got some newsletters and businesses and jobs and content and networks. I sign up for way too much. I never am at the end of my list. I never hit the goal thing at the end of the day. But you know what I do get done? Like 10x more than I ever thought was humanly possible, because I'm attempting to do so much. And at the end of the day, if something doesn't happen, everyone will survive. But that action of, I'm gonna be a doer, I'm gonna be a shipper, I wanna win. I'm gonna sign up for more than I can do, and I'm gonna use those spare moments not to be chill, not to hang, but to get after it, is the solution to what you're looking for. To do this, I use the brick all the time. I'll shut my phone off social media. You've heard me mention it before. I literally will leave it upstairs, so I would have to go retrieve it if I want to go on X or Instagram. And it's funny, I'm not even addicted to scrolling. I'm addicted to my analytics. If you're a creator, you likely know what I mean. And then lists. I'm a relentless list maker, both on physical and online, because checking them off and getting those things done, always having a track of what needs to happen when, and assigning kind of rough times or areas to it, really helps things get done. All right, in this segment, I'm going to talk about making an audio plan for your brand, for you as a creator or creative posting content, or as a service you offer as part of content or creative work you do for others. So we've all seen the scenario where you have a good piece of content, but there's cheesy, generic, royalty-free music on top of it. It will not only hurt your creative heart, It also does not perform in today's social world because guess what? Standards are rising, people are more creative than ever, content is getting better than ever, and all those little things matter, including audio. That's why I partnered with MusicBed, who I use for stuff like this all the time, to break down what an audio plan is and how you can do it. So the first thing is to build your signature song library. You will notice a lot of brands and a lot of creators will actually use the same songs very frequently to become basically a branded element. They'll have a core set of 2 or 3 audios that really define them. This is something I do as a creator. You've heard me change in my YouTubes every 6 months or so, but getting those signatures in there. And then build a world that extends from it. Say, what kind of sound do we have? We don't want to sound completely different on every asset we do. How can we kind of build a world out from there? And MusicBed makes this really easy because of the search functions they have. You can search by genre, by mood, by artist, attributes in the song, by instrument. You can get advanced, BPM, key, build. Build is my favorite. The has a build is super useful because I use build in hooks and stuff all the time. And in ads, you want that tension. I will literally use the has build function to find things that have those dramatic moments. And you can get vocals or no vocals, click instrumental right in one click, and sort through just a bunch of really awesome music. There's a reason they are trusted by thousands and thousands of YouTubers and filmmakers because they have an amazing library of curated, authentic, and most importantly, cinematic songs. But songs isn't it, sounds is the second part. So you have an audio plan for your music and then an audio plan for your sounds. So what do I mean by that? The clicks that happen when a picture changes or in a transition, the risers and tones, the other things that define your brand. You want to be able to provide that kit to the creators or UGC you work with on your brand. You want to be able to use it across your creative projects so you have some signatures. You want that toolkit of sounds. And the way MusicBed does this is really interesting. So basically you can describe what you're doing. So ASMR unboxing. This is a common one. A lot of people do these unboxings that have great audio and you will find clicks, latches, plates, they have tons of those like little sounds in here, hinges that you can dive through and build your own signature set. And some people even choose to take like a humorous version of this, right? Versus a kind of like a literal version. But you can describe your scenes and you can build that ambiance around it and really add that detail into your creative work. Now is the time for you to ditch the generic royalty-free tracks and put a real plan in place for what audio means for you creatively. You can do that with making the switch to MusicBed. There's a link for a free 14-day trial in the description of this video. And thank you so much to the MusicBed team for sponsoring this video. Which brings me to stealing, which is a complicated topic in today's day and age because there are designers, creators, creatives who will go, no one will notice if I just take this. And then they do. They take the same hook, the same video concept, design the same logo, the same icon, the same shot, concept, brand, piece of clothing, the barometer. This is the karmic barometer. Because you do it, it may be just fine. It probably will be just fine. People may notice or not. There's no repercussions even necessarily if they do. But you'll notice. And it's going to suck the creative energy you have, again, away from creating the masterpiece you have inside you. You're then forever going to live on that other person's stolen, written idea. And so your choice is to make that way better. Anything you take inspiration from, make it way better. That is your barometer. Did I take this and significantly improve it? And just never give in to that voice in your head that says, what if I just do this one time? Anyone will notice. Because it's now easier than ever with someone knowing, oh, I saw this thing on Arena that no one else has seen because they're not on there. My work hasn't seen this Slack that I'm in that does X or Y. Just do those things with that idea that you can add your thing on top of it. You're never going to sharpen your creative muscle enough to have your own thing that gains momentum. And now last, I want to talk about the world around you. We are surrounded by a machine of lies and manipulation. I have liberal friends. I have conservative friends. They both believe the other ones are the problem. They're both right. Some get more worked up than others. It can lead them to unhappiness the more they think on it. And they are programmed if a thing happens to want to resolve it. And if you're a creative, you're a thinker. You want to feel responsible. You want to feel like you're doing something. It's innate to people that create. You want everything in the world to be all right because then you can finally do it. But that's not it. I learned this during COVID where I was like, it just keeps being one problem after another, one Trump administration thing after the next. My family were caught up and they were talking about it. There's things happening. What do these people think? What are we going to do? And nothing happened except me not pursuing my goals, except living in a shroud of negativity online. And you think, okay, when this better, when the world clears up, then I can work on it. But that's not it. It's going to get worse.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man.
And as you get older, everything's going to get harder because then you're going to have life coming at you at the same time. And your kids are going to have problems. You're going to be taking care of your parents. You're going to have stuff you never even expected and bills with which you can't even describe to have to then deal with.
Who took the jam out of your donut?
You took the fucking jam out of my donut, Tommy.
You have to ignore. You have to realize that none of those things actually help you. And you have to instead take that energy positively. It doesn't say don't give back. But your answer isn't consume more media about how bad things are. Your answer to feeling better about it is to spend that time volunteering or doing a change thing that's not commenting or posting online and social media. It's spending whatever time or energy that you can commit to help people in real lives. It's getting excited about things and getting others excited about things. It takes that one energy away from this constant machine of consumption that is rewarded by you gambling, doing parlays, getting way too deep into whatever's happening in the Middle East, caring about a New York election when you live somewhere else. If it matters that much to you, you contribute with your actual time versus online. And at the end of the day, when you look at a lot of those, you realize it doesn't. You realize it is just taking you away from whatever it is that you want to create or do. And the last portion of this is the North Star, is the creative who's doing a bunch of these things and they aren't going right. They've been posting a bunch of content that doesn't work. They've been working through a bunch of these ideas, but they can't sit with it. And a lot of that comes down to not actually knowing what you want. And what's nice is that we're no longer in a realistic world. We're in a world where if you have a couple rare glimpses of knowledge of applications, technology, of how to use the internet, you can progress from nothing to something in the most rapid time that you've ever imagined. Any goal that you find or set to yourself has now become infinitely attainable in a way that is mystifying to anyone who has not come up inside of this era. No matter where you are on the globe, no matter what that dream is, it is extremely possible. But you have to map it out. You have to put the actual vision on there. And there's a lot of people that be like, I don't really want this or I don't really want that. A lot of that is just you inside looking at your own self-doubt. What is it that you don't want? Life isn't perfect. Life isn't beautiful. Life is complicated and life is hard. And if you want things that are complicated and hard along the way, you begin to enjoy them once you actually acknowledge that, yes, I do want to do this thing, or I love it, or I find it. But you need to find that one place that you want to go in the next 24 months, in the next year, in the next 6 months, that one level, and then break that down again. What are the 6 main things that I would have to learn or do to get there? All the tasks it would take to do each of those 6. What is the first step? When can I put it on the schedule? Find that North Star, break it down, and work through some of that in action. Because we're in a complicated time, but a wonderful one for anyone who isn't afraid to lean into how high speed all these things around us are going. I am shocked every day. The workflows that I have now of how fast I can do research, what I'm able to do, I use Perplexity Comet all the time, how fast we're generating images, how the team can work together and what like online shared design and creative looks like, how deep and fast content can move on the internet, the dollars that come in and back from that. It is a shockingly important time. And a year and a half ago, I believe I made a video called Lock In, where I told this is the time for creatives to sit down and really focus on their craft and telling their story online. And that was right in that time. That was the time to take that seriously. Now we're in a whole different time. Now we're in a time where it's not about just identifying that you want to work harder. It's about truly understanding that the limitations to what you can achieve in this world and the speed with which you can do it have been completely eliminated if you just become obsessed with it. And like a video game, you have to combat against an entire world that is designed to stop you from doing that gets increasingly better at it every day. Never thinking that you're above promoting yourself, by never falling into groupthink and anti-thought and online commenting, by acknowledging self-sabotage and continuing to work to change it, by breaking through in action, by admitting to yourself it's okay to want to win and be somebody, to fighting off the evils of the world around you trying to distract you. If you take even a handful of those steps, I believe you can get wherever that you want to go. Thank you for watching.